Hi, I'm Liberty Worth. Thanks again for joining me. I thought today we would work on another magazine mosaic collage, and today what we will do is to recreate one of my favorite and maybe also most popular collages that I've done before. It's of a sunset and a palm tree, and it's pretty easy to recreate. So I hope you'll enjoy the time lapse that I'll do. You can watch me make it and make it along with me. Definitely tag me if you're going to post your pictures. Tag me on Instagram at Liberty Worth Art or Livy Dibby. I'd love to see what you made, and let's have fun together. So now I'm going to describe to you what I just did. I just took some basic shapes. I found a magazine page that had some nice greens that I liked, greenish blues, and in that original picture, there's a horizon line. So I just have kind of demarcated in my mind what the horizon line is going to be. And I'm going to have my sunset rays coming up from here, and my water is going to be down here, and my tree will be in the corner. So I looked initially just for a couple pages that had some colors I liked. This one has some green, greenish blue aqua. This one has some blue. I might add in some of the green. I don't know. We'll see as I go. It's very spontaneous. I might add in some of this water that I have right here. And you're gonna see that these are very rudimentary type shapes, but once I layer them, they'll begin to look more and more like water. Now I currently can't find a really good pink like I did in my original for this guy, so what I found is a nice piece of orange right here that I'm gonna have an orange sunset this time. But what you'll see me do over the next little bit is I will be layering these little water type shapes over and over, just cutting them out using a regular old glue stick. And as I keep doing that, it'll be building up and having more of a water shape. The goal, though, is to not put all of the one color in one section. Like, if you notice, I've spreaded these out so that the overall feeling will have that movement of water with the different patterns of the greenish blues. And I do the same things in my rays up top. I don't put all of the one section in one color, or one color in one section. I'm going to be spreading it out so that your eye continually travels around the piece. So I'm pausing the video now to show you a few things. One is how this is looking. And I don't know if you noticed, but I did switch scissors in the middle of my last little video to a smaller pair because I found that my curves were easier to get with the smaller scissors. These big ones just kind of got in the way. What you can see here is that we're starting to get an ocean type look. These colors don't necessarily speak ocean. That electric blue is from a rug, and the other one was a wallpaper. This was from a travel magazine, and I just picked things that remotely reminded me of ocean colors, and that is actually enough for this project. When you look at them all up together, it's kind of crazy looking, but as you back up, it does look more and more like an ocean. My current goal right now is just to fill in these white spaces. So you might notice as I'm doing the time lapse that I audition pieces. So I'll take a little piece and I'll hold it at each place where I think I get the most balance. So I'll be covering up things or leaving things exposed. Currently I have this giant couple pieces added up here. I don't really like that, so I'll probably add something in on top of there. But my goal is still to be filling in so that I don't have any white space left, and that overall I have a movement and a balance that's happening. So an interesting thing that I'd like to show you at this point while we're working on our sun rays is, again, we're working with the movement of the eye across the piece and not getting stuck in one spot. But one thing that you'll want to remember is that you will be dealing with basically the area that they run into each other. And in order to do that, I'm actually angling these little pieces. So I'm cutting off the edges after I've cut these long strips, and I fit them onto my horizon line by trimming them. I think I will probably come back in with some more water pieces in order to get that all settled. And what you can see is happening right in here is that it's not a straight line, which I'll still have to decide if I want a straight line there, but it's definitely jagged. So that is a problem that I will have to solve. But for now, what I'm doing is I'm just taking these strips and using them as I can. So making sure I think this actually turned out to be a really nice one just because it has this gradient of this dark orange going to the light orange, but that was just a fluke. My original one didn't have that at all. It was just pinks, and looks like I'm going to run out of this page, so I'm gonna have to find another orange type thing to fill in my sky. So for now, I'm just doing the same thing I did with the water, which is just filling in where I can. And again, using up all my little scraps of pretty colors, even if they're teeny tiny, you can see how there's those dashes that end up places. Those ones will, they'll end up somewhere. They'll get covered mostly by something. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to get color onto my sky. So doing what I can. Yeah, I'll probably have to come in and fix that water, or the edge of the water, but that should be fine because I'll just come in and even it out. And honestly, when I made my first one, I don't remember what I did. So the reality is that we're just trying to get a nice overall sparkly looking sky by adding in many different tones of those families. I did find that one sunset picture, but that has that light pink, but I don't even know if I like that. So right now it's just about getting color onto there, and I will keep doing it until I have a full sky. So I think something interesting just happened that I wanted to tell you about, which is that I've run out of orange, and I am now, this current magazine, just because I'm trying to show you how I work with what I've got, doesn't actually have any more orange in it. So I'm going to start going towards the reds, and I'm starting to shape my pieces a little bit more like slivers with a point at the end. They kind of looked like carrots before, and I haven't really found too much orangey red. So now I found this piece with like some wood, and I think if I cut these right, it won't read as much as wood as it will like orangey yellow slivers. So, they're kind of going to angle the ends a little differently and angle the tops, just so that I start getting some visual interest up here, because these are starting to all blend in together, which is not a bad thing. Tear off that blue part there. But I do want to have some differentiation, and it's okay to have other colors just show up in there, and sometimes there's even words that show up. That's okay though. It's really the overall look I'm going for. And even though this is wood and like an architectural beam in a house, it still looks like it works in my sunset. So that's what I'm going to do to try to finish this out, because I really am trying to use just one magazine for this demonstration, though obviously you can use more than one. I just wanted to show you that no matter what you got on hand, you can do this. And it just takes patience and lots of willingness to go over and over things that you maybe think maybe you already did it, but then you realize, oh, it needs a little bit more interest or kind of like visual variety. And so you just keep adding pieces in. And I don't know, maybe my sunset's gonna look too brown, but for right now, I'm just going this route because it's what I have. I think I found one page that has some red over there that I'll probably add in later. But just like I did with the water, sometimes I'm just filling in spots so that another piece can come in over it. And yeah, I feel like it's getting a little too brown now. So maybe that orange isn't gonna work as much. Some of these worked. Here's a little bit of red, like I said. Let's see if I can find some pink, but I'll use this red. And if I get really desperate, I'll look for some other magazines, but the goal was to try to do it with the magazine I had. And obviously, anyone who's going to be doing this exercise is going to be doing it in their own style. So it's not going to look exactly like mine. You're literally just following like a format. So I will have to see if I like this. See, I'm just angling the ends now to try it because I'm getting further up. And that is what is going to make it have a little bit more visual interest as we get closer to the surface of the piece. I will be adding in a palm tree. And for that, I will be looking for blacks, which will be much easier than finding all those sunset tones. As far as the palm tree shape, I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be creating it off to the edge. So it'll be going up the sides, and then the leaves will come out. And a palm tree's leaves, when you're drawing, at least when I draw them, I usually draw them straight or curved on the top and then with a jagged underneath. So I'm going to be doing that with scissors. Okay. So there you have it. I just worked through lunch, but we have ourselves a palm tree in front of a sunset at the water's edge. The last things that I did, just wanted to point out, we're cutting in those little slivers at the bottom of the tree branches, and also evening out my horizon, making that a little bit more flat. All right, thanks for joining me. And again, make sure that you tag me if you're going to post these anywhere. I would love to see your creations. I'm on Facebook at Liberty Worth Art and Quilts, and I'm also on Instagram at Liberty Worth Art, LIBERTYWORTHART or Libby Dibby. Thanks.